Welcome, and thank you for being here. My name's Adina Kessler, and today I'll discuss an urgent issue: disparities in support for neurodivergent students, particularly those from marginalized communities. Together, we'll explore the problem, research findings, and actionable solutions. Imagine a classroom where every child, regardless of race or zip code, can truly thrive. Unfortunately, as this graph here shows, Black and Hispanic children are consistently 30% less likely to receive an early autism diagnosis compared to their white peers. This data, which spans from 2017 to 2021, highlights a persistent disparity. Early diagnosis is critical because it opens the door to early intervention services, which are foundational to long term success. Without these services, children from marginalized communities face unnecessary hurdles, perpetuating cycles of inequality. This isn't just an education issue, it's a matter of justice. These disparities affect students' academic success, personal growth, and community well being. Supporting neurodivergent students equitably is not just about education, it's about creating a fair society where every child has the chance to thrive. This issue is deeply personal to me. As a neurodivergent educator and as a mother from a marginalized group to a neurodivergent child, I lived these challenges firsthand. I remember the day that I realized how systemic barriers affect children like my own. Sitting in a meeting with specialists, I was told we'd have to wait months for essential support because the resources in our area were so limited. It felt like the system was failing my child before he even had the chance. In my classroom, I've seen students face the same struggles. Brilliant kids held back not by their abilities, but by the lack of early diagnosis and tailored interventions. These aren't just numbers to me, these are real children with untapped potential. One student, for example, really excelled in creative problem solving, but struggled with communication. Their late autism diagnosis meant years of missed support, making it harder to adapt to their needs later on. And this isn't just an isolated incident, it's a reflection of the gaps in our system that we can and must address. My hypothesis is that teachers equipped with targeted training and access to autism specific resources are better able to support marginalized autistic students, reducing educational inequalities and gaps in diagnoses. To analyze this, I drew on three psychological theories that would help frame the problem and its solutions. Ecological system theory explores the systemic barriers that create disparities. Self efficacy theory emphasizes how teacher confidence influences effectiveness, and social learning theory demonstrates how observation modeling can transform teaching practices. So, now we're going to dive into how these theories connect to specific research findings and highlight their role in addressing this issue. Research confirms that geographic and socioeconomic factors significantly limit to autism resources. This map shows how resources are concentrated in wealthier regions, leaving underserved areas with fewer options. Ecological system theory explains this by showing how barriers like insufficient funding, inequitable policies, and school resource gaps interact. These interconnected systems reinforce disparities, making it difficult for families in underserved areas to access critical support. Addressing this issue requires systemic changes targeted at all levels, as reflected in this map. Johnson et al. In 2021 demonstrated that targeted teacher training significantly boosts confidence and inclusivity. This table here highlights improvements in teacher self efficacy, particularly in adapting lesson plans and managing classroom behavior. Self efficacy theory shows that when teachers gain confidence through effective training, their ability to support students improves. Without such interventions, educators may struggle to meet the needs of their neurodivergent students. So, investing in training ensures that teachers are prepared to create inclusive classrooms and support long term success. Shu and Garcia show how social learning theory provides solutions by emphasizing learning through observation and modeling. Teachers who observe culturally responsive practices during training were more likely to adopt similar strategies. So, this table here highlights the increase in inclusive strategies after exposure to model behaviors. Leveraging social learning theory in training equips educators with practical approaches to inclusivity, bridging the gaps in teacher preparedness, and addressing the disparities for neurodivergent and marginalized students. We can reduce these disparities by expanding early intervention programs, providing targeted teacher training, and implementing culturally responsive practices. These actions will create inclusive classrooms where all students feel valued. So, again, imagine a future where every classroom is equipped to support neurodivergent students. Families no longer face barriers, and teachers are empowered to help every child thrive. And this future is possible with your support. Together, we can bridge these gaps, advocate for policies that expand autism resources, and invest in teacher training. Let's make inclusive education a reality for every child. Thank you for your time and attention. Here are the references for the research that informed this presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions.